Okay, whenever you're ready, Katie.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we are taking a look at the new DA2 player provided by the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. We're welcoming Jim Denham from the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. He is going to go over getting started with the new player. I am going to ask that everyone mute themselves and during the presentation, except for when Jim asks for questions from the audience. So if possible, please mute yourselves. Otherwise, I can put you on mute and unmute you when you raise your hand. So Jim, please take it away.
Great, thanks, Katie. Appreciate it. Good morning, all. I am Jim Denham. I am the Access Technology Specialist with the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. And just a quick 10 seconds, for those of you who don't know, the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired, we are a nonprofit organization in Madison, Wisconsin. We serve people around the state of Wisconsin. Our mission is to promote the dignity and empowerment of the people of Wisconsin who live with blindness or low vision. We do this through advocacy, education, and vision services. And we invite you, if you'd like to learn more, check out our website. And that website is wcblind.org. We've got a number of really exciting programs and other different cool things that we're doing. So, yeah, we're here today to talk about the DA2 player, which is the newest talking book player from the National Library Service. And we're going to kind of go about this in kind of sections. I'm going to start off by kind of talking about a physical description of the player, kind of charging, kind of what it looks like, some other different things. Then we'll talk about kind of when you first turn it on, navigating books, playing books, doing some other different things. Then we'll talk about the menus, navigating the menus, how to select different voices, some other different things. And then we'll talk about the Wi-Fi, because this device can connect to Wi-Fi, connect to your Wi-Fi. And we'll talk about how to connect to Wi-Fi and log on to Bard, do a couple of different things. And then we will actually download a book. If the technology works right and everything cooperates, we will actually download a book from Bard during this session. So I'll pause after each kind of section to see if there's any questions. So we'll kind of give each section probably lasts about 10-15 minutes. And then I will pause to see if there's any questions or if there's any clarifications or anything like that. So I know I tend to talk quickly. I will try and speak slowly to make sure everybody can understand. First of all, I'm going to hold up the DA2 player to the camera. For those who have vision, my cords cooperate here. I'm going to hold the device up. So it is a square. It is, I'd say, about maybe 8 inches by 8 inches, something like that. My measuring skills are not the best, but I'd say about 8 inches by 8 inches, pretty much a square. And I have the device positioned right now on a desk, and the cartridge slot is toward me. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind is, you talk about Wi-Fi and all this other kind of stuff. This device will still play the cartridges from NLS. So I'm holding up a cartridge right now. This is the standard cartridge that are being mailed out. My understanding is you can put multiple books on these cartridges. Or I know you can put multiple books on these cartridges. This device will still work with those cartridges. So if you get one of these players and you say, well, I don't know about that Wi-Fi, I'm not quite sure, or maybe you don't have Wi-Fi in your home, you still want to use the cartridges, you can still put the cartridge in the front of your player, just like you could with the old player. The cartridge will slide. There's a slot in the front. It's very tactile. The cartridge always has a hole in one end and some tactile markings on the other end. And you can simply slide the cartridge into the slot and play your books just like you always did. But as I mentioned, this player has the ability to download books directly from the internet and store them internally. So if you want to go what I call cartridgeless, you can do that. So you can download books, store them on the internal memory, play them, navigate them, and all without having a cartridge. So if you want to do that, you absolutely can do that. So as I mentioned, the device is a square. Along the front edge, you'll find that cartridge slot that we just talked about. If we go to the left edge, or the kind of left side of the player, you'll feel a handle. So it's a really nice, easy to carry device. If you want to be portable with it, it's got a nice, easy to carry handle. The top of the device, there really is nothing on the top of the device. The right edge of the device, we have 3 ports. And I know these have caused a little confusion, so let's clarify what these 3 ports are. The port further, like I say, I've got the device with the handle to the left and the cartridge slot toward me. So as I look to the device, the furthest port away from me is a small rectangular hole. That is a USB-C connection. It's called a USB-C. And those of you who've seen USB plugs, this is the smaller of the USB plugs. And this is used to charge the device. So your device will come with a USB cable that fits into this USB-C charging port. So that you can charge your device with this USB port, this USB-C port. If I move my hand forward, I come to another rectangular hole, this one a little bit bigger. This is a standard USB port. So the USB port can be used to attach a thumb drive or a cable to your computer. So if you have used the device in the past and put a USB thumb drive in a port and played the books off the USB thumb drive, you can do that with this device, and this is where this device connects. So we've got the USB-C port as farthest from you for charging, the USB port a little closer, and then the closest port to me is a little round hole. That is a headphone connection. I actually have a connection right now going to my mixer, but right now it's a headphone jack. So if you want to have private listening, one way you can do that is via the headphone jack. We'll talk about a couple other different ways you can connect in a little bit, but one way you connect is just if you want to plug in a standard set of headphones, you can absolutely do that. So that's kind of the sides of the unit. Let's talk about the top of the unit, which is where all the controls are. And we'll just briefly run through these controls. As I'm using the device, I'll talk about the controls a little bit more, some of the different things that they do. But let's talk about there are 19 keys. I actually counted the other day. There's 19 keys on the face of the device, and they're all very tactile, and they're very visual. They're different colors. There are printed labels. There are some Braille labels on the face of this device. So if you know Braille, it's just one letter. So not like you're having to read a whole, big long book. It's just one letter. So if you know a little bit of Braille, you can use that. If you can read the print, you can use that. Or like I said, the controls are very tactile. They pretty much all have a different feel to them. So you can really easily distinguish one control from another by touch. It's a very intuitive design and easy set of controls. So on the top left corner, there is a speaker. It's a nice little round speaker. It's actually a pretty loud speaker. So one of the things with this device is they've improved the speaker. So if you're carrying this around with you and you're listening to it around the house, and maybe you're in the other room, you'll be able to hear this device because it has a pretty good loud speaker to it. To the right of that speaker, there are a set of controls, which is 2 rows of 3 buttons. So kind of 6 controls, all kind of clustered, and it is 2 rows. Each row has 3 controls, and in each control has kind of an up and a down. So the top row has the up buttons, and the second row has the down buttons. The far left column, the 2 buttons are the tone controls. And these are white buttons. They say the word tone. There's a Braille letter T. So if I push up in the top row, I increase the tone. If I push down on the second row, I decrease the tone. So I adjust the tone controls. The controls next to that, so in the second column, are the volume controls. And these are very tactile. They have a letter V on the volume down and a kind of upside down letter V on the volume up. They have a Braille letter V next to them, and I believe they say volume between the controls. So if you push up on the up arrow, it will increase the volume. If you push down on the down button, it will decrease the volume. So we've got a nice set of really easy to find volume controls. And like I say, this goes pretty loud. So if you really want to crank up the volume, disturb your neighbors, this will go pretty loud. This final set of controls in this little section is the speed controls. These are in the far right column. And again, speed up and speed down. They have a letter S. These are also white. I should say the volume keys are yellow. And the speed keys are white. And they have a tactile letter, a Braille letter S. And they say the word speed between them. So if you want to adjust your playback speed, you can easily do that. So just below the volume down key, going down, you'll feel kind of a line in the unit, just an indented line. And just below that, you'll feel a set of 5 keys. And these are arranged in a cross fashion, your typical arrow keys that you find on many devices. So there's an up arrow, a down arrow, a left arrow, and a right arrow. And in the center is a orange square with the letter I on it. This is the info key. It's kind of like the enter key when you're going through different menus. It serves a couple different purposes. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but it's a little square key in the center of the cursor cross that you'll use for various functions. So the cursor cross, we've got up, down, left, right. Again, very tactile arrows. You can feel them, very visual. You can see they've got even Braille. So next to the letter U, next to the up arrow is the letter U. Next to the left arrow is the letter L. Next to the right arrow is the letter R. And next to the down arrow is the letter D. So very easy, very tactile controls, and very easy to see as well. So those are kind of the arrow keys. And like I say, when we start using the device, we'll talk about what these keys do. To the right of the right arrow key, so on the far right edge of the unit, not on the actual edge, but on the far right side of the unit, you'll find a little button that I understand is clear, except when the device is powered on, it glows. I think it glows green, if I remember correctly. And it has a Braille letter P above it. This is the power button. It's indented just a little bit, so you can't actually hit this button. The other buttons kind of stand out a little bit. The power button is indented just a little bit, so you're not going to accidentally hit the power button. But this is what you use to turn the device on and off. It also has another function of putting the device in key describer mode. We'll talk about that in a little bit. This is the power button to the right of the right arrow. So on the left side of the device, kind of in the bottom left corner of the face of the device, you'll find 3 keys. The top key is a white square. It has 3 tactile lines on it. It has the Braille letters SF above it. And this is the bookshelf key. So if you're reading a book, you want to get to your other books, and you say, I want to switch to a different book. This is the key you're going to push to go to your bookshelf. There's a couple other purposes too, but this is the key you're going to use to get to your bookshelf and move between different books. Below that key is a white diamond that has one line kind of through it from top to bottom. It says MK in Braille, and this is the bookmark key. So this is used obviously to set bookmarks. It has a couple other purposes as well, but this is the bookmark key. And it's, like I say, very tactile. It's a diamond. It's got a vertical line that runs from, I guess, home plate to second base, if we're going baseball terms. And so this is the bookmark key. The bottom key in this sequence of 3 is a yellow circle. which has a very tactile little circle in it. This has the MD, and this is the mode key. And this is used for different things, switching between reading mode and barred mode, I guess, if you will. And so this is kind of the mode key you'll use for a couple of different purposes as well. Now, to the right of the mode key, kind of the bottom center of the unit, we've got a set of 4 keys. And it's a line of keys with one key kind of above the center key. So the key above the center key, so it's just below the down arrow, is a white kind of with a crescent moon on it. And this is the sleep key. It's got a very tactile crescent moon on it. It's got the Braille letter S. I think it says the word sleep. So this is the key you're going to push if you don't want to, you're talking about running all night. So if you're going to fall asleep in 30 minutes, you can push the set this for 30 minutes, and your player will automatically turn off in 30 minutes. So and there's different settings for different times for the sleep. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's the sleep key. Immediately below the sleep key is a square. Excuse me. Is a green square key. And this is the play pause key. It's got a little indent in it. It's a pretty big key. It's easy to find. It's at the bottom center of the unit. And like I said, this is what you're going to use to play on pause. If you're listening to a book, you want to pause it, push this key, it pauses it. Or if you want to play a book, you push this key and it starts playing the book. So it's a very easy key to find. Like I say, very tactile. It does have a letter P next to it. I believe it says the word play. And it is a green key. To the left of that key, you'll find a little arrow key. That is the rewind key. And it has a little Braille letter R on it. And to the right of the play key, you'll find a kind of a right arrow with the letter F on it, and that is the fast forward key. So that is kind of all 19 keys on the device, and kind of a brief description of the device, kind of what it looks like, where the different controls are. Like I say, when we start talking about the function of this device, we'll talk about what each control does. And some of these controls have multiple functions. We'll talk about that here in a second. But let's pause real quick. Any questions on the physical layout of the device?
If you need to unmute yourself on a phone, it's *6, and on the computer to raise your hand if you want me to unmute you, it is Alt-Y. If anyone has questions, you can also type them in the chat too, if that's easier.
Great, thank you, Katie.
And I am not seeing any right now.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's go on and talk about a couple of these keys. And then we'll actually start the device up and have you listen to this audio and start playing some books and doing some different things. But a number of these keys have multiple functions to them. So if you push them once, they do one thing. If you, what I call long push them, so kind of hold them down for a second, they do something else. The power key is a really good example. To turn the device on, you're going to hold the power button in for about a second, and the device will power on. Same to power it off. You're going to hold the device in for just maybe about a second and a half, and you can power the device on and off that way. But if you quick push the power key, so if you just push it quickly, it's going to go into key describer mode. The device will also go into key describer mode if it has no books on it. So if you get your device for the first time and you don't have any cartridges in it, and obviously you haven't connected to Wi-Fi or haven't downloaded any books to it, you turn it on, it's going to go into key describer mode, which is a really great way of learning the device, learning where the different keys are. You can push the keys and they will just say their function, and it's a great way of kind of learning where things are and how to use the device. So other keys have kind of different functions when you long press them. For example, the info key, which is that center key in the center of the 4 arrow keys we talked about, it's got the Braille letter I on it. If you long push that key, That's going to get you into the menus. And the menus are where you adjust options, add additional voices. Um, you can configure Bard, do a couple other different things. So that's going to be your info key. And that's going to get you into the menus. If you just push it once, kind of quickly, that's going to select a menu option, do a couple other different things. But if you long push it, you want to get into the menus, you're going to kind of long push that key. Um, the other key that has multiple function is the bookshelf key. So this is the key with the three lines on the far left, kind of bottom left edge of the corner of the device. It's the top. We talked about the set of three. It's the top of those three keys. It's got the three lines through it. If I hold that key down, it actually takes me into the user guide. So if anytime you want to look up something about how to use a particular feature, this device has the user guide stored on it. So you can always access the user guide by holding down, excuse me, by holding down this bookshelf key. It will take you into the user guide. The user guide is very well written, really comprehensive, and a great way to kind of learn about the device. And you can listen to the user guide and move through it just like you'd move through a regular book. So the other key that has multiple function is the bookmark key. So if we long push that, we get the download status. So if you're downloading a book from Bard, you say, well, I wonder how much time is left on that download. This is the diamond kind of in the center of the three on the left side. If you long push this diamond, it will give you download status. That can be helpful and useful to know. And the final key that has multiple functions, or one of the final keys, I guess two more, is the mode key. So the bottom of these three in the line to the left, it's kind of the circle. That will give you battery status. So if I push that key, it's going to give me the battery status, and I can hear how much battery I have left. And then the final key is going to be the sleep key. So if I push the sleep key, it's going to go over different sleep cycles. If I long push that key, it's going to tell me the current date and time. So if I want to know what time it is, I can long push the sleep key, and it's going to give me the date and time. Any questions about the multiple presses of the keys?
We did have a question in the chat, but I think you actually answered it already, which was, are there a time and battery status button?
Yep. Yep. So this mode key is the time and battery status key button, and it will get you into the section here. So I'm going to switch my audio real quick so you can actually hear the player.
Uh, I I did what you said. I checked on the date and time, and it is off by several hours. Are you going to be discussing changing the time?
Yep. When we go into the menus, we can absolutely do it. Yep.
Okay, great.
Good for
Thank
you.
you.
You actually have a unit. Good for you. You're following along.
Yes, I absolutely. I signed up for this even before the unit came. It came a couple days later. So yeah, I was looking forward to this meeting for that reason because I was like, yep, gotta. I had the intention of following it and seeing
Great.
how much more I could get done while you're talking.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the player on now, and if everything goes right with my audio here, you should be able to hear the player. It makes a nice little chime when you first turn it on. Nice little...
Welcome to NLS DTBM DA2 reader. Please wait.
Okay, let's get a little more volume on that. So it's saying, please wait. What it's doing right now is it's actually looking at, see how many books it has. Kind of does an inventory of the books when you first turn it on.
Bookshelf. 5 books.
The Women by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Whelan, Julia. Hannah, Kristen. 15 hours, 7 seconds. Downloaded.
Okay, can everybody hear that audio?
I can hear it well, thank you.
Great, good, thank you. Now, notice when it read that book there, it said downloaded.
Connected to NutmegNet.
And now it just told me that it's connected to my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is called NutmegNet. Don't ask. Long story. So it said downloaded. that means this book is stored in internal memory on the device. Now, if I had put the cartridge in this device before I started up and turned the device on, you would hear some books that would say cartridge, and some books that would say downloaded. So if it says cartridge, it just means the book is on the cartridge. And if it says downloaded, it means it's in the internal memory of the device. So it's a really quick and easy way to know where is this book being stored. Like I said, you can store a number of different books on the internal memory, and you can also store books on cartridges. It's totally up to you. And when you store them on the cartridge and you have the cartridge in, those books are intertwined. You go through the list of books, some are on the cartridge, some are on the internal memory. Besides saying either cartridge or downloaded, it doesn't differentiate. They're all in the book list. So as you move through your list of books, you're going to find all your books. So if you use both, you're going to see both different things here. So I'm going to push the power button real quick just to get into the key describer, just to show you what that looks like real quick.
Entering key describer mode.
Okay.
Press any button to get a description.
Okay. So now I'm in the key describer mode. So now if I push this mode key real quick here, this little MD key in the bottom left corner, the little circle.
Mode. Press once to switch between NLS Bard and Book Reader. Press and hold for battery status.
Okay. So it gives me a real nice description of what each key does. It even told me, push and hold for battery status. It gives me a nice description of what these different keys do. If I can even push the volume keys.
Volume up. Press volume up. Press once to increase the volume.
Okay. So it tells me all those different keys. If I push the play pause key.
Play, stop. While in the list of books, press once to play. When a book is playing, press once to stop. When stopped, press once to resume playback.
So incredibly helpful messages in the key describer. So if you ever get stuck, get lost, and you're not quite sure what a key does, one quick thing you can do is always push the power button real quickly and go into that key describer. You can push the key, and the keys don't do anything in the key describer. You can push the keys, they'll say what they do, but they're not actually doing it. You don't have to worry about, changing a menu setting or doing something like that. You can push the different keys. I'll push the sleep key.
Sleep. While in a book, press once to set sleep timer to 15 minutes and resume playback. Additional presses will increase the sleep timer to 30, 45, and 60 minutes. You can also turn off the sleep timer by pressing sleep until you hear sleep off.
Okay.
Press and hold sleep to hear the date and time.
Okay, so, so that's the key describer. I'm going to push the on button real quick to turn off key describer.
Leaving key describer mode, returning to the regular application.
Okay, so when we
The
first...
Women by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Whelan, Julia, Hannah, Kristen, 15 hours, 7 seconds, downloaded.
So it tells us what book we're currently on, and I can use my left and right arrow keys. So these are the left and right arrow keys, kind of the keys to the left and right of the information key to go through my list of books. So I'm going to push the right arrow key now.
Lethal Prey by John Sandford.
Narrator, Robert Petkoff, 11 hours, 15 minutes, 36 seconds, downloaded.
Again, you heard the word downloaded, so you know this device, this book is internal stored. You guys can all see the different things I'm reading here. So you push the right arrow key again, it's going to move you to different books.
Sports Illustrated, June 2025.
Narrator, Mark Ashby, 3 hours, 1 minute, 54 seconds, downloaded.
So I could also push the left arrow key to go back to the previous book as well. My left and right arrow keys are kind of just moving me through the list of books that are stored on the device right now. If I want to play a book, I'm going to hit the play key. So if I hear a title I want to hear, I'm going to hit the play key. It's going to start playing that book.
Table of contents. Departments. Scorecard. Page 6.
Okay, so it's just playing a book just like you'd normally listen to a regular talking book. Now, I have the ability to, and I push the play pause button again to stop it. I have the ability to move through the book by section, and this depends upon the book. Some books have different sections. Magazines tend to have a little more sections than some of the other books. A lot of the books you can move by chapters. Some of the older books don't have this. So it really depends upon the book. But I'm going to push the down arrow key right now. So I'm in the book. I'm going to push the down arrow key.
Phrase.
Phrase. So now if I use my left and right arrow keys, I'm going to move by phrase. I'm going to push down arrow again.
Bookmark.
Bookmark. So if I had set a bookmark, I could move to different bookmarks.
Time jump 5 minutes.
So now if I push the right arrow key, I'm going to move forward through the book by 5-minute increments. So if you've got a book and you say, well, I just want to move maybe 20 minutes into the book, you can move to this increment and push the right arrow and you move by 5-minute increments. I'm going to push down arrow again.
Article.
Okay, so this is a magazine, so this has articles. So I can move by article if I want to. I'm going to push down arrow one more time.
Section.
So section. So this magazine supports different sections. So there's different sections of Sports Illustrated. I can move through those different sections. I'm going to push down arrow one more time.
Phrase.
And we're back to phrase. So now I'm going to push the up arrow key.
Section.
So we're back to section. And I'm going to push the right arrow key to kind of move through Sports Illustrated, some of the different sections.
Scorecard.
Okay, scorecard. I'll push right arrow again.
Essay French connection.
Essay French connection. Right arrow again.
Newsmakers continental shift.
Okay.
Gemplant course correction.
Okay. So I want to now see the articles in that section. I'm going to push the up arrow.
Article.
And now if I push right, it's going to move by article.
Faces in the crowd. WNBA Preview 2025. A Star is Reborn.
Okay. So now if I hear that article, oh, A Star is Reborn. I want to hear that article. Now I'm just going to push the play key and it'll start playing right at that point.
A Star is Reborn. In her second season in New York, Jonquel Jones let her play on the court do the talking and finally won her first WNBA championship.
So now we'll play that section up from the book, so we can move through the books. Like I say, magazines have these. If I go to a different book, so let's go to the women. So I'm going to push my bookshelf key because I want to switch to a different book. So remember the bookshelf keys, that top square bit in the section of 3 in the far left. It's the top one. It says SF on it. It's got 3 lines. I'm going to push bookshelf.
Bookshelf. 5 books.
Sports Illustrated, June 2025.
Okay.
Narrator, Mark Ashby. 3 hours, 1 minute, 54 seconds. Downloaded.
I'm going to push the left arrow to go back to a previous book.
Lethal Prey by John.
The Women by Kristen
Good morning, Braille and
Hannah.
Talking Book Library. Mike
Narrator,
speaking. How can I help
Whelan,
you?
Julia. Hannah, Kristen.
Okay.
15 hours, 7 seconds.
So-
Downloaded.
So this is the book that I want. I'm going to push the play key and we'll start playing that book.
He ran down the hall to the toilet.
Okay. So we're going to push the up and down arrow keys here.
Close. Time jump 5 minutes.
So we still have that time jump by 5 minutes.
Bookmark.
Bookmark, we still have the ability to move by bookmarks.
Phrase.
Phrase.
Chapter.
Chapter.
Close.
So close. So this one only gives us chapters. So if we go to chapter,
Chapter.
now if we push the right arrow key,
5, 6, 7, 8. April 29.
so it's moving forward by chapter through the book. So because this book doesn't have the different sections like the magazine does, we can't obviously move by articles, other different things. So we can move through the books and do some other different things. If we wanted to set a bookmark, all we do is just push the bookmark key.
Bookmark 1. Inserted.
Okay. And now we could use that navigation level, move by bookmark, and move to that bookmark. So I'm going to pause there. Any questions about navigating books, playing books, working with different books? Any questions so far?
I do have a couple in the chat.
Sure.
Okay, so one of them was, when it goes into key describer mode, how do you keep it from doing that? It seems to go in rather quickly. And
So the key describer mode is going to happen in one of two scenarios. If you push the on-off button quickly, it will go into key describer mode. If you want to turn the device on or off, you're going to hold that button in for about a second or two, and it will turn the device off or on. So if you push the power button, it will if you just push the power button quickly, it'll go into the key describer. But if you hold it in, it'll turn it off or on. The other scenario where it will go into key describer mode is if there are no books on the device. So when you first get your device, there's no books on the device. It will go into key describer mode. You can push that power button once quickly to turn that key describer mode off. And at that point, you can go into the menus and download a book, or you can put a cartridge in that has books. And then once you have the books on the device, it will only go into key describer if you push the on-off key once quickly. So I hope that answers that question.
It looks like there might be some clarification on that. Dean?
Yeah, Jim, I think excuse me. I think you just answered my question that there were no books in the bookshelf, so that's why it went into key describer mode. But then the
Yeah.
other question I have, and I don't know if you're going to get there, was to how you get your first of all, can you empty the books from a cartridge onto the unit, or then how do you get how do you connect to Wi-Fi? Thank you.
Okay, so we'll talk about connecting books to Wi. We'll talk about connecting to Wi-Fi in a little bit. I don't know that there's a way to transfer a book from a cartridge to the internal memory. There might be, but I don't know off the top of my head how to do that. So I'd have to do some further investigation. But you can delete books from either the cartridge or the internal memory. So if you have a book, you want to delete it, you can delete a book. I don't know that there's a way to copy a book from a cartridge to the internal memory. I don't think you can do that at this point. I could be wrong, but I
No,
don't.
you can.
Can you?
Yes. So when you put a cartridge in on the players now, it will ask you if you want to save them. And that could just be, my guess is that it's an update. But it will, when you put in a cartridge, it says save books.
Huh.
And then it says press any button if you don't want to save them.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to learn something. I'm going to put the cartridge in.
So yes, you can save books on the
Cartridge
player.
inserted. Copy cartridge contents to internal storage. Info to confirm. Any other key to cancel.
Ah,
The Death of Santini. The story of a father and his son. Playing from cartridge.
Games at the
I just learned something. Thanks, Katie. I'd always before I turn the unit on.
Oh,
And
interesting.
if you do that, it does not prompt for that. If you put the cartridge in before the unit is turned
I
on,
did too.
it just plays it. So
Okay. Well,
I just
that's
learned-
actually good to know too.
Yeah.
Because then I guess it doesn't even ask you if you want to save it.
Right.
We did have one other person who I think maybe missed this, but she wants to know if there's an instruction manual.
Yeah, so
And
with the
also-
device,
go ahead.
it comes with a quick start guide in both print and Braille, large print and Braille, I believe. And also the full manual is on the unit. If you push the bookshelf key, it goes into the user manual. You can read the user manual that way. But there is a quick start guide that comes in the box with the unit in both large print and Braille. So that's quick, get you up and running, get you easy, get you navigating the manual with it, and you can read the manual that way. So yes, there is a very good written.
I do have, I don't think I got one. Sorry, this is Corinne Brown. I do have the book numbers if you guys want a Braille hard copy, because Braille on Demand is still going on.
Yes.
So if you guys want a hard copy to keep, the getting started guide is BR 26188, and the advanced player, the user guide is BR 26189.
Okay. Good to
Yes,
know, Corinne.
thank you. Corinne,
Yeah.
I was actually going to suggest it too, that we can actually order you Braille on Demand copies too. So
Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what that's my, I love that program. My house is going to be very full of books if I don't stop, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Jim, I had another question about deleting books too that you have downloaded.
Okay. Yeah, so if you download books, if you're downloading books, you can push the bookmark key. We'll go through that when we're going through the list of, yeah, so I guess we can cover that real quickly right now. So if I'm going through a list of books, if I move through my books here,
Chapter 3, Dofusky Island Bookshelf. 24 books.
The Death of Santini.
The Great Santini, The Lords of Discipline.
The Mammoth Hunters
okay,
by Jean M. Auel.
okay.
Narrator, Jill Ferris. 30 hours, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Downloaded.
Okay, so let's say we want to delete that book. I'm just going through the book, just going through my list of books. I want to delete that book. I'm just going to push the bookmark key.
Confirm delete.
The Mammoth Hunters by Jean M. Auel.
Info to confirm. Any other key to cancel.
So it's saying info to confirm. So I want to delete that book. I'm going to push the info key, which is that the square in the center of the cursor.
Deleted. Bookshelf.
Okay.
23 books.
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Larjana Rayleigh. 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds. Cartridge.
Okay. So that one said cartridge, so it tells you that book is on the cartridge. So you can that's how you delete a book. Just push that bookmark key and it will delete a book. Okay. Any other questions, or should we go on?
Dean, did you have another question? Your hand is still raised. I think he may have just left his hand up. So I think we're okay.
Okay. So let's talk about navigating the menus and selecting voices. So to get into the menus, you're going to push the letter I, which is the information key in the center of the cursor cross. So you're going to just kind of hold that key down for a second.
Entering menu. Book reader.
Okay. So now we have a series of menus we can navigate. We're going to use the left and right arrow keys to kind of go from menu to menu. So this is the book reader. If I push I again, here, just go back into the book reader.
NLS Bard.
Okay. This will allow me to configure my settings for NLS Bard. So we'll go in here in a little bit when we want to configure our user settings and add it into our Bard credentials. I'm going to push the right arrow again.
Settings.
These are our general settings. We'll take a look at those in a second.
Battery info.
This will give us a battery info. So this is another way of getting our battery information. So let's push the I key here. Again, it's going to give us the battery info. Again, we can always get that with the mode key. But it's another way of getting that battery information.
Book reader.
And now we're back to book reader. So let's go to
NLS Bard settings.
Let's go to settings. And I'm going to push the I key in the center of the cursor cross to go into those settings.
User settings.
Okay. Now, the nice thing is we can always go back on menu level too. So if we push I, so I didn't mean to do that. We can always push the up arrow key.
Settings.
And it takes us back one level. So now I'm back to the
NLS Bard settings. Battery info. Book reader. NLS Bard settings.
So if you go into a menu and you say, whoops, I didn't want to go to that menu, you can always, because there's different menu levels here. As you kind of drill down, you'll get into different menu settings. If you ever want to go up a level, you can always hit the up arrow and it will take you back to the previous menu level. So even
bookshelf, 23 books.
Yeah. So I hit the up
The
arrow.
Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Larjana Rayleigh, 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds. Cartridge.
So I was at the first menu level there and I hit the up arrow one more time and it actually took me out of the menus. So if you ever get in a menu and you're not quite sure where you're at and you want to get out, just hit that up arrow and eventually it will get you back out of the menu. So I'm going to hold on the I key again to get into the menus.
Entering menu. Book reader.
Okay, we're going to go over to settings again. So right arrow.
NLS Bard. Settings.
Okay, I'm going to push the I key again.
User settings.
So these are user settings.
Voice selection.
So this is voice selection. So this is where we go if we want to select a different voice. So you do have to be connected to Wi-Fi in order to get another voice, because it actually goes out and downloads those voices from someplace from Humanware probably, and downloads those voices onto your device. You can only have one voice at a time on the device. But if we wanted to go into these voice settings here, I can push the I key again.
Lily. Hello, this is a sample of my voice that is available for use with the NLS DA2 player. If you choose me, I will read menus, the key describer, text, and prompts to help you use this device. You can also sample other voices to help you decide the voice that works best for you. Well, that is an option, but come on. You know you are choosing this one, anyway.
Okay, so that is one of the other voices. That's Lily. They all have different names. That's one of the female voices. I'm going to push right arrow key here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because each voice speaks a pretty long little passage. But you can hear some of the different voices. That's Lily. I'll push right arrow again.
Rod. Hello! This is a sample of my voice
Rod's
that is
very
available
energetic.
for use with the NLS DA2
Hello.
player. If you choose me, I will read menus.
I'm going to push right arrow again.
Describer.
Hola. Esta es una muestra de mi voz
Spanish voices.
disponible para el reproductor
Want to speak in Spanish?
REDS DA2.
Ryan. Hello. This is a sample of my voice that is available for use with the NLS DA2 player.
So this is Ryan.
If you choose me.
Taylor.
Okay, this is the voice. This is the voice.
This is a sample of my
voice
voice
we're
that is
using.
available for
Taylor.
use with the NLS DA.
Tracy. Hello. This is a sample of my voice that is available for use with the NLS DA2 player.
Tracy.
If you choose me,
Will. Hello, this is a sample of my voice that is available for use with the NLS DA2 player. If you choose me, I will.
Close.
Okay, so that's the list of possible voices you can get. If you were to push the info key on any of those voices, and if you were connected to Wi-Fi, we'll talk about connecting to Wi-Fi here in a little bit, it will actually download that voice to your device and start using that voice. It takes about 5 minutes for the voice to download, so it takes a couple minutes, but it will download the voice and then it will start using that voice. Now, keep in mind, it's only using that voice for the menus and everything else. Obviously, when your books are playing, they're still going to be playing with the narrator's voice because that's the talking books. But if you're listening to the menus, you're listening to the different announcements, other different things, it's going to be spoken in that particular voice. So you can choose if you want a male voice, a female voice, the Spanish voice. If you wanted to go that route, you can actually have this device speak any voice that you want. So I'm going to push info on close here because I don't want to change the voice right now.
Voice selection.
Okay, so on voice selection. So that's how you would kind of change a voice on the DA2 player. You go to one of those voices, push the info on it, it would download that voice, and you'd be good to go.
Airplane mode off.
So airplane mode. So because this device has both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, when you're on a plane, you're supposed to turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all the other kind of stuff. So if you're using this device on a plane, you want to go into airplane mode. You push I here, it turns airplane mode on. It disables all of the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth features of the device.
Wi-Fi.
So this is where you go to connect to Wi-Fi. So if you wanted to connect to your Wi-Fi, this is how you would do it. This is something you're going to want to do when you first get your unit, is to connect to your Wi-Fi. Now, a couple things to think about here. You're going to want to know two pieces of information before you connect to your Wi-Fi. What's called your SSID, or your network name. It's going to want to know that. It's going to give you a list of those, a list of available network names or SSIDs. And if your device has a password, if your network has a password. So, for example, if it's what's called a secure network, so when you connect to it, it's going to prompt for a password. And you're saying, well, how do you type a password on this device? It's only got 19 keys. How do you type a password on this device? Well, a couple different options here. You can type, and we'll look at this when we do a book search in a little bit. I don't want to change the network stuff right now, but we'll look at this when we do a book search in a second. But you can type using the up and down arrow keys. There's a pretty good text input mode for entering text into the device. You can erase characters if you accidentally put the wrong character. You can hear what text you entered. So it's a pretty robust text entry mode. It is tedious though. You're going to use the up and down arrow keys to go through the different letters. So if you're on B and you want H, you're going to have to push down arrow to C, down arrow to D, down arrow to E, down arrow to F, down arrow to G, down arrow to H. So it is pretty tedious to enter text in that fashion. But you can do it. If you need to do it, and if that's the only option, you absolutely can do it for entering Wi-Fi passwords, for entering your BARD account information, for doing book searches. You can absolutely use that method to enter text into the device. There is another way. I mentioned on the right of the device, there is a USB port, a standard USB-C port and a standard USB port. You can plug a keyboard into the standard USB port. So that little rectangular hole next to the earphone jack, you can connect a keyboard. So if you have a wired keyboard, or if you have a wireless keyboard, so a keyboard that has a little dongle that you normally plug into your computer, you can plug that into it as well. And I believe it works with a Bluetooth keyboard as well. I haven't actually tried that, but I'm pretty sure you can use it with a Bluetooth keyboard as well. So if you want to enter text into the device and you have a keyboard, you can plug that keyboard into this USB port and enter text into the device. It's not something you want to do on a regular basis, but for entering text, if you're doing a search, you can absolutely enter text using a keyboard. I've tested with a number of different keyboards. They all seem to work. So it seems to work pretty well for doing that. So if you have a keyboard and you're setting up the device with your Wi-Fi, with your BARD information, I would strongly suggest plugging in that keyboard just to enter this text into the search. And we'll try that here in a second. I'll show you how it works. But you can actually type text into the device using a keyboard. So this is the Wi-Fi menu we're on right now. Let's go into it real quick.
Wi-Fi on.
So this is Wi-Fi on. So my Wi-Fi is on right now.
Status.
This gives me my Wi-Fi status.
New connection.
So this is what you're going to indicate if you're connecting for the first time. You say new connection. And then it's going to say scan for SSID. And it's going to take a couple seconds. And it's going to give you a list of all the networks that are available in your area. In your house, maybe in your neighbor's house, it's going to see different things. Or if you're in a coffee shop, it's going to see those other different networks. It's going to see those networks. You would choose the network you want. And then it's going to say enter password.
Launch connection.
So if you have a connection you've launched, you previously saved, you can launch that connection from this menu.
Delete connection.
You could delete a connection.
Import Wi-Fi configuration.
So you can import a Wi-Fi configuration. So this is a special file you can generate that has your Wi-Fi. I guess this is another way of adding your Wi-Fi information. There is instructions for generating a small file that has your Wi-Fi name and your password. So if you can generate that on the computer, it has to be a specific file name and it has to be a specific format. But there are instructions on the BARD website, I believe, for doing this. And you can create that file and then just load this file into here, import connection, and it's going to save the information. And you could put the file on a thumb drive and load it in here. And that's another way of connecting to your Wi-Fi network.
Validate connection.
So this would just validate, just say, hey, yes, I'm connected. It would go out and say, yes, you are connected to Wi-Fi. Just a way of checking for that.
Back.
And this is going to go back to the previous menu. So the most important one you're going to use there is new. I'll go ahead and just do new.
Wi-Fi on. Status. New connection. Scan for SSID.
So it's going to scan for SSID. And then it's going to give me all the networks that are in my area. So I don't want to mess up my Wi-Fi connection right now. So I'm going to push the up arrow.
New connection. Wi-Fi.
Okay. So this is the Wi-Fi and gives you the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. Like I say, something you're going to want to do when you initially get your unit. If you have Wi-Fi in your home, or if you have Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, something like that. If the Wi-Fi requires a web page, so some hotels, you go launch the Wi-Fi and it takes you to a web page. You have to enter your room number or some other password or something like that. This will not work with those Wi-Fi networks. So if your Wi-Fi requires a web page, most of the home ones don't. A lot of ones in coffee shops don't. But some of them in hotels do. When you go to a hotel, you open up your Wi-Fi on your computer, and it brings up a browser page and says, okay, enter your password or enter your room number, or enter your last name or something like that. This actually won't work with those networks yet. That's something Humor is working on, but right now it won't work with that. So I'm still in the menu here. I'm going to push right arrow.
NLS Bard settings.
Okay, this is my Bard settings. So again, this is something else you're going to want to do at the very beginning. You're going to want to go in and put in your Bard username and password. So your username is your email address and your Bard password. If you don't have a Bard account, WTBBL can get you information and can help you set up your Bard account. But this is where you're going to go and you're going to enter that information. Enter that. It's going to ask for an email address. It's going to ask for a password. And again, you can enter it using the text files here, the up and down arrow keys, or you can plug a keyboard into the right side and you can enter the information that way as well. So, unless you're okay with using up and down arrow keys, if you have access to a keyboard, even if you're borrowing one from a friend just to get this set up, I usually don't connect a keyboard to mine because I'm pretty good with just using the features of the device. But for initial setup, you might want to borrow a keyboard and just use that for the initial setup. Once you get your Wi-Fi information in and your other information in, that's something you can do.
Bluetooth.
So this has Bluetooth, so you can connect this to Bluetooth speakers. You can connect this to other Bluetooth devices. So if you have a nice loud speaker, you can connect this to that Bluetooth speaker. You can connect this to Bluetooth hearing aids as well if you wanted to do that. And so if you want to connect directly to a Bluetooth device, you can easily do that. You can turn Bluetooth on and off as you need it. So if you want to turn Bluetooth off to use the regular speaker, you can do that. But it does have Bluetooth capabilities as well.
Date and time.
This is where you go to set the date and time. Somebody was asking about this earlier. You can go in here and let's go ahead and do it real quick. Push I.
Change time.
So change time.
Change date.
Change date.
Daylight saving time. Off. Advanced time settings. Close. Change time.
So change time. I'm going to push I here.
Hour. 11.
So hour 11. I can push my up and down arrow keys here.
10. 9. 8.
Push up arrow.
9. 10. 11.
Push I when I find the one I want.
Invalid.
Oh.
AM, PM. AM.
Okay, so AM or PM. We were AM. Push right arrow again.
Minute. 57.
Minute. Minute. Let's go 58.
58. Submit.
Okay, submit. So I'm going to push the I and submit.
11 hours, 58 minutes. AM. Confirmed.
Okay.
Change time.
So if you do mess up, like I just did, I push the information key on the time after I enter the hour. If you do mess up, it's going to say invalid. Don't panic. It just means, hey, that's not the right key right now. So just keep using your arrow keys. In that case, I found the submit button, and you can do that. It'll find that information. So
change date.
Change date. Similar, very similar. You can enter the years, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to push up arrow to back onto this menu level.
Date and time. Software update.
So software update. There are occasional software updates for this device. You can check for software updates. It'll tell you if there's a software update. It's pretty good about once it connects to Wi-Fi. If there's an update, it'll tell you there's an update. So once in a while, HumanWare/NLS may release new features, new capabilities, and those will come in software updates, which you can download over Wi-Fi.
About?
This is just about the player version and other different software versions, other different things.
Resets menu.
And this will allow you to reset, if you wanted to reset it back to your factory default, if it's not working right. This is something library staff may have you do. If something's going weird, you can always reset it back to factory defaults.
Close.
And we're going to say close.
Settings.
And we'll push up arrow.
Bookshelf. 23. Books.
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator. Larjana Rayleigh. 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds. Cartridge.
So now I'm going to push and hold the sleep key just to see if the time is set properly. And we're going to push and hold that sleep key.
11:59 a.m. September 3rd, 2025.
There we go. Okay, so let's pause there. Any questions about the menu, navigating the menus, and changing voices, anything like that?
I have one question in the chat, which is how much time does the battery have?
The battery seems to run for me. I get about 20 hours out of it. I think it's if I push my battery key here,
Battery 91%. Remaining battery time 15 hours 30 minutes. Internal space available 26.27 gigabytes.
So it tells you how much time is approximately how much time is remaining. I get about 20 hours out of my battery, and close to 20 hours. Once on full charge, it charges in about 3 hours, and I get about 20 hours of if I'm just playing books, I get about 20 hours out of the battery life. So it's a pretty good battery.
And that 20 hours is about what we were told from the NLS. Now, when we have had some brand new players, when they're fully charged, go to significantly longer than that. My guess, though, is that when they're using Wi-Fi, playing books and everything, it drops down lower. So I
Yeah.
don't know that that would be something that would be standard. So
No, I would say no. If you're using Bluetooth, if you connect to a Bluetooth speaker or Bluetooth other devices, um, and you're doing this, yeah, you're gonna get less time. So I would say plan on 15 to 20 hours. So if you charge it up, you're gonna be good for a little bit of reading. If you're reading a good long book, you're probably gonna be in pretty good shape. And you can always tell. You can always push that mode key and hold it down and see where your battery status is at, and see where you're at. So you're in pretty good shape. And charging it is pretty easy. When you plug it in, it makes a nice little tone to let you know it's connected to charge. You can use it while it's charging too. So if you plug it in and it's charging, you can absolutely keep playing books and using the device while it's charging.
Now, you don't have to, if you're playing a book that you downloaded. Once it's downloaded, you don't have to have it on. You can have your machine on airplane mode and it will play books.
Yes, once if you download a book, yes, if you download a book or using a cartridge, you can absolutely turn off Wi-Fi. You can turn on airplane mode to turn everything else off. If you want to save battery life, you can absolutely do that, and it will absolutely do that. Yes, yep.
Because honestly, why would you need it on Wi-Fi if you're just reading the book unless you want to download something new?
Unless you want to download another book, yeah. I mean, I
delete.
usually leave my Wi-Fi on, because occasionally I'm downloading the book and I really want to download this book, and I don't have to go into the menus, turn Wi-Fi back on, or whatever. I just leave my Wi-Fi on, and it doesn't hurt the battery that much. So I just leave it on. It's not a big deal. And if there's software updates or if you want a different voice, it's just connected to Wi-Fi. It's
Right.
not a big deal. Okay, any other questions, Katie?
no, although we did just have someone say that her player is saying the battery is 97% charged and has 72 hours. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine said 100% and 91. So
Okay. Yeah,
you're
in
91
good
hours.
shape. Wow, that's pretty good.
Well, but again, I don't have anything on it. I haven't connected it to Wi-Fi yet and things like that.
As these are rechargeable batteries. So as you start using these batteries, their memory, their lifespan, decreases a little bit. So like you said, the brand new players, you might get 30, 35 hours. I'd be really surprised if you get 70 hours out of a battery.
I'm sure.
I think it's not coordinated enough. It's not, the battery hasn't had a chance to, get itself coordinated enough to know how much time is left. So
Because now, what's the button you have to start with your internet, since the login, whatever.
Yeah,
I accidentally found
that's going to be through the menus. You're going to go to the menu to do that. You're going to actually do
the menu, which is the
I key.
I key. It is the info. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about connecting to Bard. Just real quick, kind of just talk about that that process, and then we'll actually go on to Bard, and I'll show you kind of how you can search for books and a couple other different things. So again, I'm back to the bookshelf. I'm going to push the menu key here.
Entering menu. Book reader.
Okay, I'm going to push the right arrow.
NLS Bard.
Okay, NLS Bard. So this is where I'm going to go to actually configure my Bard settings. So I'm going to push the I key again here.
NLS Bard. Search collection. Advanced search.
I went to the wrong menu.
Wish list. Most recent. Advanced search collection, close. Modify login information.
Okay. Yeah. So if this was brand new, it would have asked me for the Bard information, but I'm going to
Close. Book reader.
Let's go this a different way.
Bookshelf. 23. Books.
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator. Larjana Rayleigh. 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds. Cartridge.
Let's do this a different way. Let's push the menu key here.
Entering menu. Book reader.
Okay, I'm going to go over to settings.
NLS bar settings.
And I'm going to go into settings.
User settings. Voice selection. Airplane mode. On Wi-Fi. NLS bar settings.
Okay, NLS Bard settings. So I'm going to go into here.
Sort options. Sort by title.
Okay, sort by title.
Download wishlist automatically. Off.
Okay, download wishlist automatically. Off.
Close. Sort options. Sort by title.
Okay, so these are our options for, sorting the different Bard options here.
Close. NLS Bard settings. Settings. NLS Bard.
Okay, so if I would go into NLS Bard here, and if I didn't have my information set up, it's going to ask me to log into the service. So it's going to ask me to enter my username, which is my email address, and my password. So when you first get your player, you go into here, it's going to ask you for that information, and you're going to go in and you're going to enter that information. So that's pretty much how you're going to connect to Bard. But there's a much easier way. Once you've got Bard on, there's a much easier way to get to Bard.
Bookshelf. 23. Books.
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator. Larjana Rayleigh. 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds. Cartridge.
Okay. So I'm on the bookshelf here, and I want to get to Bard. I want to get to where I can actually download books. All I need to do is push the mode key. That's that little round circle key in the bottom left corner. If I push that mode key once quickly.
NLS Bard. Search collection.
Okay. So I've got the option for search the collection. This will allow me to search the collection. And I'm going to go, I'll do a search here in a little bit to show you the text entry. But this is where you go to search. If you want to search for a book by author or by title, you could search the collection here. I'm going to push the right arrow key here.
Advanced search.
Advanced search, which allows you to search specifically for a title or a book number or an author or other different things. You kind of search by category.
Where that?
And I'm going to push right arrow again.
Wish list.
So this is your wish list. This is your Bard wish list. So if you're on your computer and you're browsing the Bard website and you say add to wish list, and then you come on your DA2 player and you say load my wish list, that book is going to come up. So the nice thing about the wish list is it's cross-device. So if you're using another device, if you're using a Victor Reader Stream and you add a book to your wish list, or you're using the computer and you add a book to your wish list, and then you come in here and you say, what's on my wish list? That book will be on your wish list. Or if you're using your DA2 player and you add something to your wish list, and then you're looking on the computer or looking in your Victor Reader Stream, or maybe you're reading your books with your Amazon Alexa using the My Talking Book skill. You can find the books that way as well. So it's really nice that wish list is cross-device, because you can add a book to the wish list on one device and find it on another device and listen to it on that other device. So that wish list is a really powerful tool. If you find a book you really want to read, but you say, hey, I don't really want to necessarily read on this device, I want to read it on a different device, you can absolutely do that. So a lot of times what I do is I find books on the computer that I want to read, I add them to my wish list, and then I'll come onto my DA2 or my Victor Reader Stream or my phone. So many different ways to read Bard books. And then I can download the book and start reading it on that whatever device I want to read. So that wish list is a really, really cool feature and a really powerful feature of Bard. So we'll push the right arrow again.
Most recent books.
So these are the kind of categories you might see, you might be familiar with. So most recent books, these are the books most recently added to Bard.
Most recent magazines.
These are the magazines most recently added. I'm just pushing right arrow to go through this list, by the way. Just using my right arrow to go through this list. These are the most recent magazines added to Bard.
Most popular books.
This is the most popular book. This is another one I really like is, hey, what is everybody else reading? What books are most popular? If I hear about all my friends are talking about this really cool book that they read, and this great book that a lot of people are really enjoying. It's probably on the most popular list. I can go to the most popular books here, find it. Maybe I don't remember the exact title or the author. I can go and find that book, the most popular books. Sometimes it's just fun to see, hey, what are other Bard patrons reading? And this gets updated fairly frequently too. So you can always go and kind of see what books are popular and are being read. So you can do that and push right arrow again.
Browse magazines.
So you can browse magazines. This is going to give you a list of all the magazines on Bard, and you can choose a magazine and get the current issues for that magazine.
Browse categories.
This is going to give you categories. So Bard has a whole bunch of different categories, fiction and nonfiction and other different categories. And you can browse through a list of categories and find books in those particular categories. So if you're looking for a book in a particular category, maybe a cookbook or a children's book or something like that, you can go and find books in the different categories.
Previous downloads.
This is previous downloads. And again, this is cross-device. So if you download a book onto your phone, maybe you have an iPhone and you download a book onto your phone, you say, well, I want to read that same book on my DA2 player. You can go to previous downloads and that book will be listed there. You can see all the books you've downloaded in the past and downloaded them onto this device. They don't sync as far as if you're listening to chapter 2 on your phone and you come to your DA2 player. Unfortunately, it doesn't sync. You're going to get the book from the beginning. But maybe you say, hey, I was reading this book on another device and I really want to read it on my DA2. You can come to the previous downloads here, see what books you've downloaded, and it will show you, you can find those books. Kind of a fun little historical thing that I did a couple weeks ago. I've been using Bard for, at least 15 years. And I got on the website the other day. I looked at my previous downloads, and it keeps everything I downloaded for the past 12 years. It knows the date I downloaded it and what book I downloaded. And I went back and I sorted it by oldest to newest, which you can do on the website. And you can see the books you downloaded 15 years ago. It's like, wow, I remember reading that book. Wow, I forgot about that book. It's kind of a cool, blast from the past. If there's a book you read many years ago and you download it from Bard, it's probably still in your recent downloads list. You can probably go find it and find that book that you read many years ago if you've been using Bard for a while. So kind of a cool way to go back and see what's there.
Current downloads.
So current downloads. So if you are currently downloading a book, it will tell you what books are currently being downloaded. Again, you can use the bookmark key. You can hold that bookmark key down and get a list of current downloads. So if maybe you're downloading 3 or 4 books at a time, you want to kind of see the status of everything. You can either go here or you can hold that bookmark key down. It'll tell you the name of the book and the percentage of it is downloaded and kind of where it's at as far as the download status.
Modify login information.
So this would be if my Bard credentials weren't currently in here, it would say add login information. This is where I go to if I change my Bard password, for example, I could go here and update my Bard password. So if you wanted to change something, or if when you're new, you come and put this information in, and it's gonna put the information in.
Close.
Okay.
Search collection.
Okay. Any questions before I actually go and download a book? We'll do the search feature here in a little bit. We'll actually download a book. Any questions?
We did have a couple questions, chat. I think you basically answered them though. One was, can you use this with Audible?
Not at this time. I do not believe you can use this with Audible at this time.
The other one was you answered this. Can you jump between devices and pick up a book where you left off?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. That's probably the biggest requested feature. And I know you can do that with Audible. Audible, you can listen to a book and be in chapter 3 on your phone and start listening on another device and it'll pick up in chapter 3. NLS doesn't currently support syncing. It's a very requested feature, but it's kind of beyond the scope of NLS right now. But yeah, so it not currently supported, but it's pretty easy to say, chapter 3, move to chapter 3. There's the navigation commands make it really easy to navigate to the different parts of the book. If I'm reading chapter 4 on one device and I pick it up on this device, I want to move to chapter 4. It's pretty easy to navigate to chapter 4. So that's really helpful and really useful as well. Okay. So let's go and let's look at the text search features, and I'm going to show you both ways of doing this. So I'm going to go to search for book.
Advanced search. Search collection.
Okay, search collection. I'm going to push the I key here to say search collection.
Enter text to search. Input mode. Use the up and down arrows to navigate through characters. Press and hold for quick navigation. Press bookmark to switch between character types. Use sleep to insert the current character at the current position. Press play to review the entered text. Erase the previous character with rewind. Erase the next character with fast forward. Use the left and right arrows to move the cursor through characters that were already entered. Press the information button to submit the entered text.
Okay.
Press mode to cancel text input.
So it gives you
a
pretty good tutorial there of keys you can use to do this text input. Okay. So I want to enter the word Grisham, Grisham. Okay. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to push down arrow until I hear the word G.
Z. Y.
Whoops, I'm going the wrong way, so I'm going to push up arrow.
Z. A. B. C. D. E. F. G.
Okay. So I'm on G for Grisham. So in order to insert that character, I'm going to push the sleep key. It's a little bit, the thing is to push the I keys. You think, oh, I'm going to insert, I'm going to push the I key in the center of the cursor cross. And the I key is what you push when you're all done. So it takes a little bit of getting your brain around using the sleep key to actually enter characters. Because when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh, you push the I key to enter characters. So I'm going to push the sleep key, enter the word G.
G. Inserted.
Okay. Now I'm going to go up to R.
H. I. J. K. L. M. N. O. P. Q. R.
Okay, I'll push sleep again.
R. Inserted.
Okay. Now I can keep going through the whole word like that and keep entering the word Grisham. If I didn't mean to enter an R, if I enter the wrong key, I can push the rewind key and backspace.
R. Deleted.
Okay.
R.
So now I just deleted R. I'm still on the R.
Q. R.
Push
R.
and R again.
Inserted.
Okay. And if I want to hear what I've entered so far, I can push the play key.
GR. GR.
Okay. So it says G. If it would have pronounced, if it had been a full name there, I wouldn't have pronounced that whole name, and it would have, then spelled it. So it would have said Grisham and then Grisham. So what if I want to enter numbers or uppercase characters, other different things? I can always push the bookmark key.
Cap. R.
Okay. So now I'm in capital letters. So now anything I enter is capital.
Cap. S. Cap. R.
Okay. So anything I enter now is going to be capital letters. If I push the bookmark key again.
0.
Okay. Now I've got numbers.
1. 2. 3.
So if I'm entering, maybe my network password has numbers in it, I could put those in. I can push the bookmark key one more time.
Period.
And this gives me symbols.
At. Space. Comma. Question mark. Apostrophe.
So all these different symbols I can enter. So again, if you're entering on my email address, my email address is jdenham at. I need to find the at sign. So I would push that bookmark key till I hear symbols. Then it would go up to at, and then I would push the bookmark key, and it would insert that bookmark key.
R.
And it goes back to letters. So you can use that bookmark key to kind of go between the different symbols. And again, you can use the up and down arrow keys to go between the different letters. You can use the left and right arrow keys to kind of move your cursor kind of back and forth. If you make a mistake 3 letters back, you can go back and delete that character. The really useful key here is pushing that play key to see what you've entered so far. So pushing that play key.
GR.
Okay.
GR.
Okay. And you've entered that you can hear what you've entered so far. So that is one way of entering text. It's a little tedious, but you can certainly do it. It takes a little practice. It takes some time. And like I said, my biggest thing we're doing is not pushing that I key when I'm done entering. When I find a character, you just push I. You have to go down to the sleep key, push the sleep key to actually enter the characters. And the I is used when you're all done. So once you enter the whole search term, then you would push the I and it basically submits that text and says, okay, I'm ready to do this. So I'm going to push the mode key right now to cancel text input.
Canceled. Search collection.
Okay. And I've got a dongle here for a wireless keyboard. And I'm going to take that dongle out of my computer here, and I'm going to put it into the USB port of this the DA2 player. So I could use a wired keyboard. So if you have an old wireless or wired keyboard, a USB wired keyboard, you could do this. You can also pair this with a Bluetooth keyboard and do it that way. So I'm going to put the dongle into the player here.
USB keyboard connected.
Okay, so now it's saying USB keyboard connected. So now, if I'm going to go here, I'm going to navigate my menus, just using the arrow keys.
Advanced search. Search collection.
Okay, I'm going to push the I key for search collection.
Input mode. Use the up and down arrows to navigate through characters. Press and hold for quick navigation. Press bookmark to switch between character
types. So it's the same thing before.
Use sleep to insert the current character at the current position. Press play to review the entered text. Erase the previous character with rewind. Erase the next character with fast forward. Use the left and right arrows to move the cursor through characters that were already entered. Press the information button to submit the entered text. Input mode. Use the up and down arrows to navigate through characters. Press and hold for quick navigation.
Okay.
Press bookmark to switch between character types.
So
use sleep to insert the current character at the current position. Press play to review the entered text.
Okay.
Erase the previous character with rewind.
I'm going to push the letter G
Erase the next character with G.
Okay. So I just pushed the letter G on my keyboard. It said G.
R. I. S. H. A. M.
Okay, so I typed the word Grisham on my computer keyboard. So I just typed on the computer keyboard. I'm going to push enter on my computer keyboard here.
Confirmed.
Okay.
Loading. 72. Results found. I'll take your questions now. What I saw at the Trump White House. Grisham, Stephanie. 10 hours.
Okay. So that's not the one I want. So I'm going to push the right arrow key here.
The judges list. Grisham, John. 11 hours, 37 minutes.
So as you can see, using the keyboard is a lot quicker way of entering text. And as soon as I hit that first letter, it's interrupted that message, and I could type text that way. This is actually, I'm using a Logitech keyboard here with a wireless keyboard with the little dongle that goes in the computer. I just put the dongle into the DA2 player, and it's working just fine. I can navigate here and do some other different things.
Search collection.
I can use my arrow keys to navigate on the keyboard. So if I want to use my arrow, just so I would use the arrow keys on the DA2, I can use my arrow keys to navigate and do some other different things. So if you are entering text, like I say, for the initial setup, having that keyboard is really helpful and really useful. So I'm going to pull my dongle out here now because I'm going to
USB keyboard disconnected.
Because I'm going to just use the keys on the DA2 player, and we're actually going to download a book. So I'm going to push the right arrow key here.
Advanced search. Wish list. Most recent books. Most recent magazine. Most popular books.
Okay. So let's see what most popular books. Let's see what's listed today for most popular books. So to go into that, I'm going to push the I key because it's going to give me a list of the most popular books.
Loading. 159,073.
Wow.
Results found. Nightshade. Connolly, Michael. 9 hours, 6 minutes.
Okay. So I push right arrow to go to the next book.
25 alive. Patterson, James, Pedro, Maxine. 6 hours, 43 minutes.
Okay. So I want to learn more about that book. I'm going to push the info key here.
Select to download.
Okay, select to download. So if I push the I key on this option, it's going to download that book. But I want to learn more about that book. So I'm going to push the right arrow key.
Select to add to wish list.
Select to add to wish list. That's there again. We talked about the wish list earlier. We could add it to the wish list. I'm not going to do that.
Select for book info.
Select for book info. So I'm going to push the I key again here.
Title, 25 alive. Book number, DB130041. Subject, bestsellers, mystery and detective stories, suspense fiction. Author, Patterson, James, Petro, Maxine. Narrator, Lavoie, January. Description, SFPD homicide detective Lindsay Boxer knows her way around a crime scene. But nothing can prepare her for the shock of recognition. The victim is Warren Jacoby, Lindsay's one-time partner who rose to chief of police. A top investigator until the end, Jacoby managed to leave Lindsay a
So
clue.
it's going to read the full book description. I'm going to push.
Following a trail of evidence along close.
So I pushed the right arrow key and I got to close. So if I wanted to download that book, I would just go over here.
Select to download.
Select to download. I'm going to push the I key.
25 alive. Queued for download.
Okay. So queued for download. So now I want to check the download status. So I'm going to push the up arrow, go back to the bookshelf.
Most popular book. Invalid. Invalid.
Okay. I'm actually going to push the mode key to go back to the bookshelf.
Bookshelf. 23 books.
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Larjana Rayleigh, 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds, cartridge.
Okay, so now I want to check my download status. So I'm going to push the bookmark key. I'm going to hold the bookmark key down to hear my download status.
Downloads info, NLS Bard, 25 alive, 85%.
Okay, so it told me the name of the book. It told me it was 85%. And in just a second, I should get a tone here to say that book was downloaded. And then I can actually go to my bookshelf and actually...
Unzipping, 74%.
Unzipping.
Please wait. NLS Bard, 25 alive, download completed. Bookshelf, 24 books.
The Nightingale
Okay.
by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Larjana Rayleigh, 18 hours, 54 minutes, 37 seconds, cartridge.
So it downloaded that book to the internal memory. So right now you're hearing cartridge books. I'm actually going to pull out the cartridge here.
Cartridge removed. Bookshelf, 5 books.
Okay.
The Women by Kristen Hanna.
Narrator, Whelan, Julia. Hannah, Kristen, 15 hours, 7 seconds, downloaded.
So now you told you I went from 23 books down to 5 books because I removed the cartridge. So now I'm going to push the right arrow to find the book we just downloaded.
25 Alive. A Women's Murder Club Thriller by James Patterson and Maxine Petro.
Narrator, January Lavoie, 6 hours, 43 minutes, 32 seconds, downloaded.
And I'm going to push the play key here to play that book.
25 Alive. A Women's Murder Club Thriller by James Patterson and...
Okay, so now I'm playing the book. I'm listening to the book. I want to find some information about the book. I can always push the I key.
Where am I? 0%. Heading 1.
25 Alive. A Women's Murder Club Thriller.
So that's a really...
by James Patterson and Maxine Petro.
Total time remaining, 6 hours, 43 minutes, 21 seconds. Section time remaining, 1 minute, 28 seconds.
So that's a really helpful key to have too, because a lot of times you're reading a book. Well, how much time is left in this book? And where am I at in this book? If you just quickly push that I, you don't want to hold it in, because you hold it in, you're going to go into the menu. But if you quickly push the I key, it'll give you information about kind of where you're at and how far you've read other different things. So, okay, any questions so far?
I don't see any in the chat. Does anyone have any? I'm not seeing any.
Okay, great. So yeah, the DA player it's very intuitive, very easy to use. If you have Wi-Fi, it's really nice to be able to download books directly to the player. It's very intuitive. I find the keys, once you get used to where they're at, really easy to use, very easy to find. The help features are really good. And of course, you can always call and get support from your library if you get stuck or something like that. But the ability to connect the keyboard, I think, is probably one of the best features. When this device first came out, that wasn't available, and people were having to do that text entry method, and it was a little bit time consuming to enter any type of text. So having that information, be able to enter using the keyboard is really helpful and really useful. So like I say, the fact that you can still play cartridges, you can still get cartridges in the mail and play those cartridges if you want, or you can download. We kind of got the best of both worlds. So any other last minute questions?
Yeah, do we have any final questions?
Or anybody who's been using the device want to
Yeah,
share their thoughts or comments?
Can I ask some maintenance questions
Sure.
on the device? Because just to give you a little bit of background, I also repair the talking books. I'm part of the team that does the repairs.
Cool.
And when I got my book, I noticed that there's very little that needs repairing now. If there's something that does go wrong with the book, does it go back then now to just the manufacturer instead of, because I mean, we wouldn't have any equipment to fix these books.
Right,
Yeah, I
right
know
now,
the
yeah, I
battery
think
the
it's
battery's
going to
internal.
human.
Yeah, go ahead, Katie.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, as of right now, I think it's going to humanware for maintenance, so
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's their warranty still.
Yeah.
So then with the is there a plan then to retire the DS1s and the DA ones?
No.
So those will still be out there for repairs?
Yeah.
So basically we would not get any DA2s for repair processing?
Not that I know of. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not the authority on that. So, but no, not that I know of.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding is, no one's going to call people and say, you need to send back your old player, and people can just keep using the old players as long as they want. At some point the new players will become the kind of the standard. But right now there's no, you don't have to turn in your old player. If you have an old player, you want to keep on using it, there's no reason to, you can still keep using your old player.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not putting any kind of pressure on the people to switch out their old ones. We don't even have enough of the DA2s to get out to everybody. And I don't, we're not trying to replace the old players. So
Yep. Just another option if people want to go that route.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's all the questions I have then, because all my other questions were about that.
Okay.
About
great.
repairs.
Well, thank you for your work on the repairs. That's a
Yeah.
thankless job. So thank you for all you do to make those keep things moving and working.
Welcome.
And I have a question from Nancy asking if she can use her laptop keyboard for input.
A laptop keyboard. A laptop keyboard is built into a laptop, so I don't think you'd have a way to do that. You'd have to have it has to be an external keyboard. I think a laptop keyboard. There's no way to connect a laptop keyboard to anything else. So I think you'd have to have it. I don't believe there's any way to do that. You'd have to have an external keyboard. You can get an external keyboard on Amazon. They sell pretty basic keyboards for $20, I think, on Amazon. You can find some. I mean, it's just as long as it has a USB connection on it, you're in good shape. So I know of a lot of laptop users that actually have external keyboards because sometimes those laptop keyboards are very small and they don't like typing on them all the time. So a lot of times laptop users will get an external keyboard. I'm using a laptop right now, but I never use the laptop keyboard. I have an external keyboard that I use just because, typing in those small tiny keys in the laptop can be tricky. So, it's much easier to have an external keyboard. So even if you have a laptop, you might want to consider getting an external keyboard.
I don't know what I would do without my external keyboard. I use it for my iPhone all the time. So to have this one, this is great. If that works, just plug in the USB and connect
you
them that way just for when you want to. That's great.
Great.
And I agree with Jim. I just typed in my borrowed information this morning using an external keyboard, and it is much easier than using the text input. The text input is not terrible. It
No,
just,
it's not.
if you make a mistake and then, put it all in and have to go redo it, it's very tedious after a
Yeah,
while.
very, very, very time consuming. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah, it can be done, but it's just, yeah. Yep.
It can, yes, but.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jim. This was wonderful, and we will be putting up the recording to make available for people. So
Sounds great. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all of you for your time, and have a great day.
yeah, well, take care.
Bye.
Bye.